Hello. One of my sayings that I like to say is, languages are gateways. When you learn a language, because of the influences that make up each language, you're always better fit to learn another language. Languages kind of latch onto each other. They build upon each other. And the Welsh language is no different. One of the questions that I get on this channel, or have had in the past on this channel, is, if I learn Welsh, what languages are good to build on that? What languages are easier if you've already learned Welsh? Well, that's this video, and we're going to talk about the top 5, I think, languages that Welsh gives you easier access into. Now, this is kind of assuming that you have English, because albeit there are a few people here and there who speak Welsh who don't really have good English or might not speak English due to specific life circumstances. For the most part, if you've got Welsh, you've got English. We will also have some honorable mentions, because there's others that are worth mentioning that Welsh gives you access into that you might not expect. What are the top 5 languages, or what are the languages that are easiest to learn for you? Number 1. Cornish. I know, you might expect it. It's the closest related language. My last name, Angwin. The white, the fair, the just in Cornish. In Welsh, Agwin. It's really similar. And I've had maybe 10 to 12 hours of instruction in the Cornish language. With my Welsh, I can look at any text in Cornish and tell you roughly what it's about, what's going on in the plot of a story. It's really close to Welsh. So without a question, Cornish is the easiest language that you get through Welsh. But there are a couple things you need to know if you're coming from Welsh to Cornish, like the ends of words. In Welsh, there'll be T or D. They'll shift usually into an S in Cornish, sometimes a TH. The second language, it's also part of this British Celtic language family. Okay? Breton. In Brittany, across the water. But it's a bit further removed from Welsh. It has a more difficult orthography if you're coming at it from a point of a Welsh speaker. Cha is C''H instead of CH. But it's relatively straightforward. However, what distances it from Welsh is its heavy French influence. But not just French, actually. Because of the long reign of the Roman Catholic Church and it's being much stronger down there, there's a much more marked Latin influence in Breton than there is in Welsh. And the Germanic influence is much less. But still, it's not only the same language family, it's the same branch. And after that, you might think, well, the next one would clearly be a Celtic language. But no, it's not. I think if you've got Welsh as an English speaker, French is just so much easier. Not just for vocabulary. Plume, feather, pli in Welsh. Anfon, to send, envoyer in French. Not just for that, but the sentence structure. The use of que to that which is, lequel. We use a or aoedd, which was, in Welsh. We use a similar jointed sentence construction that's common to Latin-based languages, actually, which makes French, you get a free spring into. And we have a lot of vowel sounds or diphthong sounds in Welsh. So does French. There's a lot of nasal influence, probably from the substrate of Gaulish a Celtic language that was spoken in France before the Franks and before the Romans came in. So there is a semblance there between Welsh and French in terms of phonology, but it's faint. It's a long time ago. And you get a core grouping of Latinate vulgar Latin words as well, which will definitely help. And if you've got English, you get all the snobby, longer, pompous words as well, like pompous. The fourth language you might not quite have heard of, Friulian, a language spoken by around 600,000 people in northeast Italy. This area was Celtic speaking, and this language is part of the Rhaetian or Rhaetian Romance languages, named for the pre-Roman language of Rhaetian, probably related to Etruscan, but the Celts after this dominated the area for centuries. And around 8 to 10% of this language has its roots in Celtic. That's a lot of this language which comes from Celtic. They also have a differentiation which they call long and short vowels, which you find in Welsh as well. Friulian also has an ng sound, which is not quite really like the English ing, but more like the Welsh ng. It has a couple of these pelletized consonants and stretched vowels, which a Welsh speaker would find very familiar. But really, it's that substrate which is going to affect the syntax of the language, which a Welsh speaker will find familiar in the occasional circumstance. What about number 5? Scots Gaelic. Now, you might say, Benjamin, well, why not Irish? It's just across the water, but it's still across the water. And Britain is part of a Sprachbund. Yes, the British Isles are a Sprachbund, but the core of the Sprachbund, a language arc, where idioms, phrases, and culture affect languages within it. The core is in Britain, not Ireland. And the Scots Gaelic language came into this island by coming into contact with Pictish, a Brythonic Celtic language without so much influence from Latin like for the South had. What used to be Middle Irish really shifted into being Scots Gaelic in the years after absorbing Pictish and Pictish speakers, a Brythonic Celtic language that was related to Welsh. It was basically like Welsh, but without the Latin influence. And this left a lot of markers on Scots Gaelic, which to me as a Welsh speaker, Scots Gaelic is much closer to Welsh than Irish is. It has a substrate of vocabulary that is clearly British, rather than Irish, monadh. Take the word monadh, which means hill in Scots Gaelic. In Welsh, we have Mynydd, meaning mountain, and there's a whole host of these. When I've tried to learn, or dabbled in rather, Irish or Scots Gaelic, I just find Scots Gaelic is so much more familiar in a way that's almost intangible, a way that's basic and instinctual. And that's what happens when you get a substrate, or rather, speakers of one language were absorbed into a language, and those speakers' original language left their imprint upon it. And I think Welsh speakers, or Pictish speakers, left an imprint upon Scots Gaelic that makes it just feels more like home than Irish. What about those honorable mentions? Well, Irish, of course, is a Celtic language. It's quite different, and as I noted in my What No One Mentions or Talks About Celtic Languages video, is that the British branch and the Irish branch of the Celtic languages are very different. But it's still a Celtic language. The beginning of words mutate. You get conjugating prepositions, VSO word order, and a whole host of really old cognates that are similar. So it's impossible to say that having Welsh would not make Irish easier. It does, but they're quite far apart. Another one that I've mentioned in another video is Portuguese. See my video on how Celtic is Portuguese. But it's clear this has a substrate of Celtic, and that this, through the vowel sounds especially, and the softness of consonants between vowels, it would make it more familiar to a Welsh speaker. And there's a few words, I think, that have been kept over the centuries that make it a bit more Celtic than Spanish, for instance. And Galician as well. I kind of lump them into Portuguese, but they are distinct languages. Also, unexpectedly, Romanian. Now, as some of you have known, I've dabbled a bit in Romanian on this channel, and just from a superficial dive into the culture and language, there's definitely something there. Linking Romanian and Welsh, I personally think it's a very similar attitude and time period in which the garrisons of frontier Roman troops were sometimes taken from the native peoples, and how they learned Latin was a very similar process in the time period. But also Dacian, the language before Romanian, and Brythonic, the language before Welsh, they clearly shared a lot, in my opinion. They were from different language families, but there's a similarity there that we'll never understand, because there's not enough of Dacian left. However, something of that has passed into Romanian, and you notice that as a Welsh speaker learning Romanian. It's more than just the Latin words. It's a feeling. Like I mentioned with Scots Gaelic, there's a feeling there that, yeah, there's something similar to us. Is that just the Indo-European connection? I don't think so, but it could be. Let me know if any of you speak Welsh and Romanian. It will be really interesting talking to you and potentially making a video. Also, even more unexpected, Hebrew. I've been learning a lot of this language for my faith, and the similarities between it and Welsh are striking. Loads of grammatical similarities, occasionally a word that's a bit like, okay, that's sort of similar. Hebrew is a gendered language just like Welsh, but it's more than that. It conjugates prepositions just like Celtic languages do. There are similar sounds, cha, and in older Hebrew, the verb came first. And it's really striking to me how similar it is. Like, for instance, the genitive tense, X of Y, X owns Y. That's the same position, or it's the same grammatical syntax between Hebrew and Welsh. And Arabic being so close to Hebrew in so many ways, I assume that if Welsh and Hebrew have, I think it's something like 36 of 37 grammatical similarities, I would take it for granted that Arabic and Welsh have the same thing going on. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did like the video, tap the like, donate via Buy Me a Coffee, and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.